didn't have to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts. Just beware of the thorns. You got a glimpse, and you can't resist, luring you in closer. Guess I got a jinx. You want an honest man, but you don't understand.
All right, so we got a lot going on this job site. We're pouring a new apron and a new set of concrete stairs, right, Ron?
Right.
All right, guys. This is my buddy Ron Graff from Concrete Arts. We've worked together for how many years now, Ron?
Lots, probably over 25, 30 years.
Damn it, that makes us old.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Older anyway.
8-inch rise. You know, some of these guys, this is very basic stuff.
Well, code is no more than 7 3/4 inch. These are set up at about 7 3/8 of an inch, whatever works out. You know, you usually got to take your top elevation, your low elevation, see what you got. If we in this particular one, we had about 36, 37 inches roughly. And you break that, divide that up, whatever works out best. But
Okay.
you always got to keep it. You have to slope these treads so the water runs off. You know, it's not like building a carpenter building wood stairs. You know, where everything's level. These always got to have a slight pitch to them so the water runs away.
So now you're tying all the rebar together, right, Alex?
Yes. So it's just a loop and then twist. You go too far, it breaks, and then you gotta redo it.
Huh.
Competition. Wheeling uphill. Let's not go crazy full on these.
Oh, you want it to take all day?
I don't care how long it takes, but one of these full going uphill.
Oh, you got it?
I had a guy pile one up this high the other day, and I was on a flat. Barely. I got it. Yeah.
Dancing material. How's that?
Looks beautiful. Hit the rise. There's first, we'll add some water to it.
You want to start all the way up, don't you?
Just hit the face, yeah. Don't hit the side, hit right there. That's good. Dump it.
I'm gonna want some residuals from the kickbacks.
Nice, Al. Already hot.
Wait, I want to see this. So these guys actually use PAM. He's not joking. Let's. Is this the PAM?
No, actually, I'm out of PAM, but we're using this anything non-stick to so the forms don't stick to the concrete when you pull. Concrete doesn't stick to the wood.
Sweet.
You can use diesel fuel or it all evaporates.
All right, guys, I want you to meet Juan. He's actually a master at laying concrete with over 30 years of experience. This is all he does, and he does it well. and I'm asking him how he gets the concrete to release from his forms.
We use Pam cooking spray. I mean, it works just like a release agent.
Do you have to vibrate the concrete to get it to settle in right, Ron?
No, and you just puddle it with a shovel or your float. You all right with that?
Yeah,
Huh?
a little bit of workout.
You want to get started from there? Less of an incline, more of a hill though.
Longer hill, less steep.
That's steep. You working for you, Alex?
Yeah.
You're reinforcing. Extra. What the heck is that?
Next guy on the team that I'd like to introduce you to is Terry. He's pushing the wheelbarrow up the hill and been doing concrete for quite a few years. He doesn't have as much skill as Juan or Ron, but he's still got more skill than the average guy. This would be a great spot for a powered wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Wish I had one of mine handy. These guys would freaking love it. Here you can see Ron applying the releasing agent on the face board of the steps. Those boards that he's working on right there have to come off before the concrete is fully cured, because these guys got to be able to get at that face of the step and finish it before it dries. So you what is that called right there?
It's called concrete rake come along.
Concrete rake or a come along?
Yep.
Shit, that's not, on the farm we never called that a come along. Come along was a wench with a binder on it. So you use that to vibrate the material down, because you can't just pour it and leave it. When you have thicker pours, you actually got to get that material to settle in, right?
Yeah, we usually just use it to rake and pull our concrete around. Use it for puddling, skull puddling. Right up back there.
Ready?
Good, good, good.
Probably want to tap that step, huh?
Yeah, I got her. You got her hammered
So
out.
this guy in the bright green shirt is kind of pivotal to our video, because he's actually a third-year laborer and he's going to be learning how to finish concrete, and so are we. Now, do you spray this with any coloring afterwards, Ron, or?
Not this particular job.
Now I see some guys spray it with that white stuff.
Oh, a sealer?
Yeah, is that a sealer? Does that always go on, or?
Depends. I mean, there's some stuff that we can use setting up to float it better, is what they call cotton film. Sealer is what it's applied after the finish.
Yeah, it is. No.
After it's all finished and groomed or whatever finish you're putting.
Now you're using your forms to float the concrete down. You're not just eyeballing this.
No, my forms are at height.
So that's at finished height.
There, get
Yep,
that
that's
buggy
finished
out.
concrete height.
So you pull it, and then you're gonna, yep.
Then I'll seal it, close it up.
So you're closing up the pores, kind of. Is that right, Juan?
Yeah, I'll use a thing called a derby or a bull float to do it.
Okay. What are you going to be spraying on the top now?
Surface retarder. It's called day one.
So that goes on fairly immediately, right?
Yep. And it'll help the set time, keep it moist and wet.
So that's not water?
Nope. It's water mixed with another deal, like a retarder.
So the surface don't dry out too much before you get it floated.
Finish on a case.
All right.
So you can see Ron is raising up the rebar as he's going, so he's getting it off the ground. So he's using the concrete to actually raise it up. Why are you tapping the board?
Fill any voids up, bring the cream to the surface.
Consolidate it. So when you strip it, you ain't got big voids in there.
Yeah. Then you gotta try to work them out, right?
One thing when you're doing steps that I like to use is a little finer mix, what they call a stamped fulminate mix. Smaller rock, so it's easier to rub out the faces.
Oh, I suppose. Is that what this stuff is, or?
Yeah, it's actually a stamp mix. We use this all the time when we're stamping concrete, but I like to use it for steps just because of that reason. It's easier. Makes it a little easier to finish steps, especially when they start getting a little hard on you. You ain't trying to rub in pushing big rocks.
I'm guessing it's probably a titch more expensive.
A little bit more, not much.
How much you want?
Is there a reason why you don't use it on every job then, if the cost is almost equal?
Larger aggregate is better for your sidewalks, patios, and driveways.
Does it offer better structure
What's
to it?
that?
Is it better structurally then, larger aggregate?
Larger aggregate is, yeah.
So if these guys were pouring a big wide open driveway or something, they'd want to use something with larger aggregate.
Conventional, yeah, 3/4 inch aggregate.
So while they're pouring, Juan starts to level out the concrete. Right now it looks like he's finishing it, but really what he's trying to do is just make sure he's got enough concrete inside each form before it starts to set up. So that was a piece of rebar that Ron sticks in at the very top of that stair tread because that's where the foot strike occurs the most often and it gives it extra strength.
We're giving this guy all our secrets. 35 years to get these secrets.
35 years of secrets? Yeah, but you know what? Those years of secrets, just helping other guys do their job the right way and giving customers better projects long term.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that.
And probably, I don't know, the way I look at it, Terry, is there's probably nobody's going to be, you're not going to lose any jobs because you're doing this. You know what? I mean, I give them away all the time.
Good.
Ooh, that was loose. That seemed pretty loose, Ron. Is that the way you wanted it?
Yeah.
So all the concrete's been down for about 15 minutes and Juan's going to start to put in the control joints. These are designed to keep the concrete from cracking. And what that means is if your concrete starts to crack, this control joint should stop it from cracking all the way through.
Touch it, and it's like that. I could probably start stripping it, but since I could push my finger in it, you don't want to pull it because as soon as you pull this, it's just going to fall and roll, and then you end up getting a out of whack shaped step, and then you just fight to try to get it back in.
Okay, so the finger test is the way to go.
Yep. And just, after a guy that's been doing it for so many years, he knows when to get on it. You don't want to wait too long with so many steps because each one's got to be rubbed out, formed. Your top noses, your gutters, all got tools to make them round and look really sharp and crisp and clean. And so you want to get on it semi-soft, but not too soft and not too hard. There's a fine line, otherwise you'll just struggle and really bust your butt on them. Your edger, turn it. There you go. Now you know you're straight. Because you always get your edger tight to your form, that way you know you're straight. All right, bud. Heel to toe. Heel to toe.
What does heel to toe mean?
Heel to toe means like this. Let me see your edger joiner. Heel to toe. Heel, toe. Heel, toe. So you're putting it, otherwise you're dragging and cutting and pushing the concrete out.
So that's the wrong way to do it.
Yep, and then you're moving all the rocks and stuff, and then you have a hard time filling it in. Then you got that. Then you got to take cream, steal cream from your slab, to fill it in. So when you cut his heel, come back toe. That way you get a nice, crisp, clean cut.
Awesome, thanks, Juan.
Yep, steal a little cream with your with your cutter and fill your joints in there, bud. And then when
You kind of made that look easy.
a lot of years of doing this. And another thing is you don't want to push too hard, because when you do, what happens is, you know, that's acceptable. You won't have any problems getting that out. But if you get push too hard, it leaves big ridges. So then you'd sit here having a hump, and then you'd have to work to try to get those out of there. See, so that's pretty easy and pretty flat. Anything deeper than that, you don't end up with a flat spot. All right, let's get edgers. We can start edging this.
So now it's been roughly 20 minutes or so. The time isn't as important as the feel of the concrete if I'm picking anything up. And Juan why are you rubbing that out right now, Juan?
I'm making sure the rocks are down, it's flat. So by doing this, I can tell if there's dips in it, or there's a hump. If there's a hump in it, my mag's gonna come up and then come back down, up, down. And then if there was a dip, when I swing over it, it'll leave an unfinished mark. So now I know I have to push cream over to fill it and flatten it out.
That makes sense.
We're trying to stay ahead of the game before it gets too hot and the sun starts baking the concrete, because we have a lot of stairs to finish. So we're going to try to stay ahead of the game and get our edges, everything edged, so we're not fighting to get them in once the concrete gets hard. Alex, when you're coming up to existing concrete here, you want to make, when you're edging, you want to make sure you're too height. If you're too low, then you leave a tripper. If it's too high, you're leaving a tripper here. Okay. So you want to make sure when you're coming up to existing, you're exactly flat and you're right on the money, okay? Okay. All right.
So if you guys didn't catch that, a tripper is where the concrete's a little higher than this concrete, and that means you're going to stub your toe or vice versa.
You stub your toe and then trip.
Yep.
When you're pouring steps, we have pitch on the steps, so it usually, by rubbing it and sealing it, pushing the rocks and getting it to this point, usually rolls and leaves a ridge. You can see the ridge. My mag isn't sitting flat on the concrete and not flat on the board.
Yep.
So by pushing it just like that, I know I'm pushing it back where it's supposed to be, and now I'm flat to the top of my board. I'm taking that hump out.
So you told Alex to take a full...
Use the whole mag, not just a little bit of the mag. Take your whole mag. That way you know you're flat through your.
Because if you use half a mag, you're only getting the ridge.
You're only getting this. So if it's humped up here, you're just riding this down, but you're leaving this ridge here. So now you're going to be like this. Your step's going to go like this.
So you're getting
so this way you know your step is flat.
Yep. Okay.
By using the whole mag. We're edging this so when we strip the forms and we actually use our top covers to shape the top of your step, it's already pre-formed. It's got a curve to it already.
Okay.
And if we pulled this and it was harder, we'd really have to work to try to get that rounded out. By edging it first, you're pre-forming your nose on your step. kid up there.
Okay, so wait, what were you telling him, Ron? Because I missed it too.
Keep the float long ways opposite of the length, you know, this way, so that you don't get no dips in there. So you want to use your tool the long ways this way.
That's what we were talking about, so you don't leave that hump.
Oh,
The
okay.
nose.
Okay.
And that little dip like that there, Alex. You're rolling your edge, Alex. Don't roll your edge. Rolling your edge. I can see it. See a float one.
Alex, tell him to go watch his
See
own
that?
bobber.
See that? Well, you can see there. That's flat, and you get that about 1/4, 3/8. You know, so just make sure you push down, and that way you're on top of the form.
So clean the top of your forms while you're edging?
Yeah, I mean, or beforehand. Because when we go to slam that form off there, all that dry stuff's going to fall back into our stuff that's, you know, kind of finished. There you go.
So another 10 or 15 minutes have gone by, and now you got to broom them, right?
Just this area here, those will have to wait to finish the faces as we go. If they start getting too hard, they'll probably have to broom the tops and then touch up a little bit. But most of the time, you try to broom everything at the same time. Yeah, leave a little mark there, Al. You get an edgy one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't clean that. See, Juan does the same thing. He doesn't clean the top of his forms.
I use that for filling
Yeah,
on my gutter.
right.
Still a little soft.
It's dripping anyway, but like you say, you can probably bring the top of this
Top
one.
one.
Oh, look at it, he
Yeah, you
rolled
rolled it,
it,
you're
he
not-
dipped it.
remember?
Uh-oh.
So it's still a little cream.
Hold it. Keep it up to the same height.
Right here too, you rolled it, see? Oh, I just filled it in.
See that, Al? Look at this. Look at Fill that right in. Juan did this one, huh?
Juan's finishing it so Juan can fix it. Yeah, edit that little piece.
So Juan laid down the challenge.
Yeah. So
Hey Juan, say it again.
If you mess up, I can fix it. But go ahead and try to broom it.
All right, we'll see. Have you broomed one before, Alex?
I've broomed pool decks, yeah.
Okay.
Everything's different though.
Brooming does two things. It hides imperfections, but way more important than that, it adds traction. Perfectly smooth concrete, when it gets wet, can be almost as slippery as ice. Make sure you broom it.
How's it look, Alex?
Straight.
Looks good, bud. Yeah, I like it. There you go. Always come all the way to your edge, so you don't leave that little empty
Tom
spot.
would be losing it right now. Why aren't these stakes cut down?
Nope, just, yep. We can get a touch-up room. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Boom. Like it. Nice. Now you know your edges are all broomed all the way to the edge. You see by touching now my fingers aren't, they're not poking into the concrete as far, because now the concrete's starting to firm up. What happens is if you have any flaws up here, it's not going to matter, because your cover is going to go over probably 6 inches into the concrete. Then we're going to have to rub it out anyways and rebroom.
Uh-huh.
But we want to get this done because by the time we start getting down here, we're not going to have time to get back and broom this. So much that it rolls, okay? See that slag gear? Run your mag flat across it. Like that.
So you work the slag into the stair?
Yes. And this gets edge, Alex. So get your edger in there. Take your little mag or something. Hold that corner like this so you don't pop it. Just go one way. That way it looks nice and rounded.
Doing everything lefty.
Are you right-handed?
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
You want to come and switch sides with me?
No, I'm just gonna flip around.
The same thing with your tools. Heel, toe. Because if not, what's going to happen is you're going to dig into the concrete and you're going to leave yourself holes. Not too much pressure so you're digging into your step, you know what I mean? Don't push too hard on your nose though, okay? There you go. You do that very last. Oh, hit your top cove here. You know, you kind of hold it in so you're not pushing down pressure and pushing your nose. Heel to toe. A little more pressure, but make sure you hold that in. Not enough pressure, but let's do this. Like this. Boom. Just like that. Alright? Now hit it with your gutters. Heel to toe. And then make sure you get your heel all the way in your corner. Yep.
What about when that happens?
And then we fix it. It's like, oh.
How do you keep on your backstroke? How do you keep?
Nice and you
You
gotta light.
use the corner, you don't have to use the whole plate.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's what I was saying. If you use the whole thing, what's going to happen, that's why you heel to toe, just like your cuts,
Gotcha.
so you don't dig in and pull the rocks. And you do this. Good. That's it. Get out of there. The more you mess with it, we got a lot of stairs to go. You can take your marks out of there. Remember, your broom will hide some of your stuff. Anything, you know, as long as it's not too bad, remember your broom's gonna hide a little flaws.
I always thought that was the whole point of brooming.
No.
Point of brooming is to add traction, right?
Yeah. Yes. You thought it was to hide flaws?
Well, yeah, it's like texturing a wall.
Now we're gonna rub our panel as we go.
Okay. Do you want to broom it as we go too?
Yep, we're gonna do everything. I don't know what happened to my little sprayer I had this morning.
So one of the challenges these guys have is they're on the top step and they got to get all these out, but this concrete's setting up all at the same time. So that means the workability up there won't be the same as the workability down there.
So that's something to take into consideration when you're starting your own project, is the concrete can get away from you and harden up. And what'll happen is you'll have one finish on a part of the stairs, and then if the concrete hardens up, you'll have a completely different finish on a different portion of the stairs. So it's pretty critical that you make sure you time it out and make sure that you're accomplishing the work before the concrete gets away from you. So on this job site, Ron and Terry were actually pouring a concrete apron and sidewalk, which you'll see in an upcoming video, and they needed to come over and help Juan and Alex make sure that they got all of this finish done at the same time and the same consistency.
Is there a special additive in that water?
That's the same stuff that I used when I sealed it up.
Oh, okay.
It's just day one. It's a retarder.
Day one, the retarder, okay.
It just helps as loosens everything up and gives you a little workability. Gives it cream. There's that top coat. It's up there. And remember, we got to bring all our tools down as we go down. It's important you use two hands too. So you're pushing in. Because if you're pushing here, you can move this and then put a bubble in your step. By pushing on here, you know you're pushing in and you're getting your top finished out, okay?
How you doing on time, Juan?
They're doing good. I mean, they're starting to get hard now, but nothing I can't handle.
How much time do you think you got before it gets away from you?
Hopefully never.
None. I haven't lost a set of steps. I haven't lost a set of steps, and I'm not about to. You see that? I got cream. If I can do that and I'm getting nothing, I'll be struggling. But with one of these fiberglass float and some of this, I'm good to go. I'll make it happen. You ready? Now she's starting to get hard.
That's what she said.
We're gonna have to pick up the speed now. Yep.
Juan, how many years you been doing concrete?
Probably 30-some years.
Once the concrete starts to set up, it's almost like a switch flips, and it kind of changes consistency and workability. These guys have to amp it up to get ahead of it so that they can still get that finish down.
Yep. Pull it out there.
There you go. Do it back as soon as you're done with it.
Yeah, go ahead and broom this bottom one way here.
Pretty good, Broom?
They got it over. You brought it, didn't you? Light one. Pretty wet.
Pretty creamy.
Hold on, Zoom right up to the riser.
Yep.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Alex? Alex, finisher? No.
This is day one.
Bottle.
The bottle's full.
Started to like it a little
I
bit
just
more.
need some
Or
day
you want
one
the
now,
spray?
bud. I'm just saying, I wish you wouldn't have took my tools and stuff that I'm using. You know?
He could have brought it back. He only took the brush.
Right now.
Don't be using him for an excuse.
No, he took all my little bottle of day one I had.
All right, well, I want to say a big thanks to Concrete Art Ron and all of
right.
the guys, Terry and Alex and Juan, for helping us understand how to do stairs. So thank you guys. And I'm going to actually put Concrete Art's logo up on the screen here, so these guys, if they want to reach you, do you even want more business? I guess I should ask that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You do? All right. Because a lot of guys get so swamped, they're like, no, I'll be in a video, but I don't want any more business. So there you go. If you guys are around Minnesota, Wisconsin, you should look these guys up. I've worked with Ron for years, so big thank you to you guys for showing us all the ins and outs, tricks of the trade on these stairs. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chad. See you later. Take care.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of it.
All right.
And we will
Send us the link.
We will see you guys on the next one. God bless and go get them, you guys. And while you're here, do me a favor and check out these other 2 videos that I'm going to put up for you right now. Hit the share button and subscribe. I'll let these guys wrap up.
It's good, man. It's good. We saved them, Terry.